Hello Gender Tweakers, this is Isla. This week we're talking about personal relationships, and I had actually written up a script about what to talk about today because I had a lot of issues to cover here, but because of some of the circumstances that are going on right now, I'm like skipping that and just give you a brief overview about what's happened in my life. For the most part, I think that my parents had some inkling about what I was to become in life, and they were also very hard with discipline and not being able to be that close to me, and so that relationship was always challenged for me. And both of my parents have long since passed, so I really can't talk too much about that relationship. I have a brother and I have a sister. My sister is only 13 months younger than me, and while we were children growing up, everyone used to think we were twins. That was kind of funny. I think about it now because as I've transitioned, the more feminine that I've become, the more that I've reminded myself of what my sister looked like when she was a child. So I think that's rather funny now. Both of my brothers and sisters live out in Utah. They're Mormons. Our family raised us as Mormons. And the Mormon Church in general has a very hard time with subjects relating to homosexuality, transgenderism, those kind of things. It's very taboo out there. And in finally coming out to my family, my sister is she's not capable of handling this, and she won't talk to me now. I have a brother who is trying to relate to me. He's having a hard time with the fact that he no longer has a big brother, but I think he really does love me and wants to have a relationship with me, so he's struggling. His wife is actually a bit more supportive because we've been friends in the past few years and have been supportive of each other. She seems to have more of a capacity to retain our friendship. So there's hope there. I have a first cousin who was really kind of the cool guy in the family. Whenever I went up to the Northeast, he would show me around the city and show me some really neat places. And once I got old enough to be out on my own, he would call me. And through the years, we've had all kinds of phone calls with each other and talked about all kinds of things. When I came out to him about 6 months ago, it was really too much for him to handle. Over the years, he's become more and more conservative, and he's become much more of a staunch Christian, and so he can't handle the news either, so he's not talking to me right now. I don't know if that relationship will ever heal, but we did have a good history in the past, so I think it really depends on how far along he comes. As far as work is concerned, when I came out, I actually had some friends at work who were really very supportive of me. A couple people who were my size actually helped me out because they did things like give me clothes when they were close to my size. And I've actually gotten a lot of support from people, for which I'm really very grateful. Very appreciative of my friends. I work for a social agency. We work in the community supporting certain populations, and so they're a bit more open to these kinds of things, and actually made provision for me when I finally transitioned in the public way. So that's really been pretty neat. It's been a positive experience with my work life. I don't have too many personal friends because I live in a university town, a college town, and a lot of the friends that I made when I first moved down here have long since moved on to other things in life. What has happened, though, is now that I've transitioned, I've made ties and friendships with the LGBT community here, and so I have a friendship now that's based on what we share in this subculture, and that's really, I think, something I'm grateful for, because we have relationships based on the fact that we're not part of the mainstream culture, which is really, I think, it is a gift too, because all of this helps to support me to be me, to finally face the truth about myself and to be the person that I am. And as far as really personal relationships, I was married for almost 23 years to a woman, and it was a good marriage for nearly all of that time. I came out to her before we got married about my transgender issues, and she seemed okay with it. About 3 years into our marriage, I almost left her so that I could pursue transition, but because it hurt us both so much, I decided to try to stick it out, and I spent the next 20 years trying to make this go away. And the thing that I've discovered is that it doesn't. It is part of who we are as trans people. So when I started hormones and then I started publicly transitioning, she had a more and more difficult time in dealing with the changes she saw in me, till finally it got to the point where she no longer wanted to be married to me. So she's divorced me. Since September, we have been divorced. We do meet each other from time to time for lunch so we can talk. We both want to maintain a friendship. It's just that love relationship is no longer there for her. So, and it's something that teaches me. I try to learn from everything that happens in my life. And for me, it's just another reinforcement of the idea to love without attachment, and to be really appreciative of people for who and what they are. No preconditions. Real love is unconditional, and it's up to me to accept people where they are at. And then with that said, now that I've been divorced, I have started dating guys. I also write a couple of women with the possibility of maybe developing further relationships with them. But right now, I'm enjoying dating guys. I have found that I enjoy dating men far more than I ever expected to, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that now. And so, with that said, and this is one of the guys I'm dating. His name is Giancarlo. He is Italian, and he's driven up here to Georgia, all the way from Florida, just to meet me, for us to talk and get to know each other. And we share a lot of different issues and interests. And I thought maybe to tie up the video here, I'd give him a chance to talk about what he sees in relationships as far as our own gender issues are concerned. So, Giancarlo, you want to say something?
Yes. I've been a cross-dresser for almost 30 years, and I do understand Isla's idea of where she's going, where she's been, and we can relate on that fact. And I enjoy the openness that we have and the understanding that we have. And it gives me pleasure to be ourselves and enjoying each other's company. where I cannot enjoy with anyone else that is close-minded in this field and going blank. And it's amazing that I find in her what I've been searching as a person, the full understanding of her and myself. You know, I'm cross-dressing and I enjoy being who I am while I'm cross-dressing. A lot of people don't understand and don't want to understand that point. And therefore, don't enjoy being with close-bound people. And I enjoy being with people that understand me as I am.
Well, that's a good way to wrap it up. Well,
Voila.
thank you. Thank you, Giancarlo. And that's the end of Gender Tweakers, week number 5. And we will see you again next week. And have a good week. Bye.